Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy Jerry Trades back with another breaking video, and I hope all you guys are having a wonderful day. Today's gonna be a unique video because I want to be able to help a lot of you guys that are just getting started. You know, options trading. It's pretty hard to find. You know, there's not a lot of people out here doing it, and when you do, you get into it, you start looking up on YouTube, you start seeing all these things about, you know, strategies, and you see all this kind of commotion about just charts and all the kind of little languages they try to paint for you guys. So I know navigating this could be very difficult, and even for those that, you know, the thing about trading is there's no cheat code. You can have a little bit of money and you can have a lot of money, but if you don't know what you're doing, you're still gonna lose. So it's really about building the knowledge here, building the experience, right? And losses are a part of the game. I know for many, dealing with losses and I guess continuously losing capital can be very emotionally deteriorating. You know, it can bite at your ego. It can make you feel like everything you are doing is completely wrong, and that's normal. It's emotions that come with a part of, you know, trading. But I think it's very important as an individual you minimize the financial losses that come with the learning curve. You know, because there will be losses. There will be a whole maybe couple, for some months, for others years, until you learn, you know? And it's an ever-changing environment. Markets are not the same as they were yesterday. Markets are not the same as they were just last. Markets are always changing and moving and adapting. So it's not the markets that are the problem. It's the lack of experience and the investor for many times being the problem. And as a trader and investor, you have to be consistently adapting to new environments, new, I guess you can say, narratives, new kind of paradigms of thinking about certain companies and what they could potentially be in the next 2 to 3 years, right? And then as a trader, you got to think about what they could potentially be by the end of the trading day, or in the next couple of trading days, or maybe in the next 2 weeks. So there's different components that come into both playing the stock market as an investor and as a trader. And for many, you know, they don't have the guidance. They don't have that introduction, you know. And what makes me credible to talk to you guys about the stock market? Like, why would I listen to this guy on the internet watching his YouTube channel? And let me go ahead and share with you guys my experience. So I've been trading in the market since 2020, now 6 years. Now this has been my full-time income stream for about maybe 4 years now. The 2 years I was running my businesses and building myself up as an individual. But I was looking at this trade yesterday. This is one of my first trades back on AMD in 2020, bro. I took that trade back in 2020 and AMD was at $96. Today she made history, now trading at $455 a share. And this is where we jump into now the paradigms of an investor and a trader. As an investor, buying at $96 a share was a no-brainer, you know, and you want to be able to understand this concept. When you're young, your best friend is time. Your best friend is putting your money to work for you and just burying it, forgetting about it. But don't go buying all these, you know, nonsense assets. Let's be logistic here. Let's be a little bit more, I guess you can say, strategic, right? To the obvious. Buying Apple 5 years ago, Google 5 years ago, Amazon 5 years ago, Meta 5 years ago, would have left a hefty dent in all of our pockets if we would have taken them. We would have made a lot of money. And imagine that's just 5 years ago. 5 years ago, many of us were just barely starting our teens. For my age, you know, others starting just in their early 20s. But now let's paint the picture 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. You know, we're talking a big picture here. First IPO'd back in 2010, she was going for $1.94. I was reading this video where one guy's dad bought over $100,000 worth of Tesla at $1.94 when she IPO'd. And let me show you guys so it's real. Like, I want you guys to understand that, yo, bro, this is legit. Like, this isn't make it up. Like, no, this is real, and this is how the wealthy and the rich really position their kids. They take care of their families. Even less, look, $1.27, bro. Now let's go ahead and do the math here, right? Let's say you're already advanced in your career. I know a lot of us don't have rich parents, but this guy's dad did this for him. 100,000, correct? Divided by $1.27 a share, boom, equals 78.7 thousand shares. Now, today's market price on Tesla is now at $400 Gonna confirm this right now. And 28 at market close. Let me just show this for documentational purposes. $428, right? Bro, $33.7 million is what this guy's dad left him for in 10 years. When this guy was 10 years old, clueless of how the world worked, living the life, being a kid, having fun, a father put down 100,000. Boom, when this kid is 20, finally screws are kicking in, life's catching up, he's got to figure out how to buy his home, he's got to figure out how to provide for a family, what career, what his purpose is. He has 33.7 million. Wow. And that's the type of investments, that's the type of reality so many people are living. Not because they had more money than you, not because they had more knowledge than you, simply because they got started. And for many, you know, the knowledge is like hard to obtain, hard to feel uncomfortable with, hard to feel like confident in what you're doing, correct? But it comes with experience, it comes with just trying, you know? When I told people like investing and trading isn't necessarily, investing more specifically, right? Let's stick to investing. Investing is just about getting in early. It doesn't matter if you have a lot of money, if you have a little bit, just get in early, let it compound. You know, most assets, you guys have to be aware at, only compounding at around 10% annual return per year. So that's a pretty small amount to beat. There's a lot of assets out here that are easily outperforming that 10% in maybe a month and maybe a couple days. And it's just about getting into the markets, participating in them, you know, getting around the news, surrounding yourself with a group of individuals that are doing it. You know, me at SoCal Trading Group, this is why I founded this thing, and I'm so happy that I did, because I created an environment, you know, 96 people. All of them have, you know, paid me for my services of helping them into this community every single morning, waking up, throwing trades at them, throwing company news at them, bringing them in an environment where I'm constantly making investments in trades. They're following with me, and they've advanced from just a beginner, clueless, not knowing anything, to now more experienced, more confident, now taking their own positions, now knowing that Amazon is, you know, at all-time highs, now knowing that Nvidia is at all-time highs, now knowing the narratives behind all the money that's in tech, gaining more knowledge, all because they decided to surround themselves with someone that was really in it. And this is all important, you know, your environment determines where you're going to be interested and where your time, where your bandwidth and mentally is going to go. So be, if you know, conscious of this vehicle and learn how to use it to make your life better, because it will help you. And it's just about getting started early, bro. It's not about, oh, I need more money to get started. No, like, bro, if we're really going down to basics, like, you know, we're grown adults here, man. Like, life's extremely expensive, bro. So you have to have a spare at least $200-300 a week minimum. You know, these $200-300 a week that people usually have to spare, you know, in their early 20s, they're probably gonna go spend it out shopping, spend it out drinking, spend it out with dinner with their girls, you know, maybe excessive habits that maybe aren't, you know, gambling, you know, we're talking about sports betting, these different vehicles that are, you know, portrayed as a financial gain, you know, especially now in the youth. Like, you have all of these reels here, like people constantly throwing in, you know, gambling, and it's such a wow, rewarding, and then, you know, roller coaster that people, hey, they don't mind doing it, they don't mind risking it. But when you're young, be a little bit more mature. Use this capital to maybe buy something more serious. Develop your asset column. Don't chase the dollars, chase the assets. If you chase assets while you're young, the money will come. You'll get the dollars, but you have to chase the assets. And it's a really big topic that I highly recommend all of you guys start picking up on, is acquiring assets. Because this is where money begins to work for you, and you're not working for money. And this is the secret knowledge that a lot of people don't tell us. Just buying assets, bro. Like I mentioned, all these companies, Amazon, Tesla, Meta, Google, Nvidia, Microsoft, you know, Broadcom, AMD, you bought all these companies 10 years ago, bro, you'd be a baller right now. Even if you didn't have 100,000. Let's say you would have put only maybe 1,000, right? Let's lower it down to the basics for everyone that thinks it's a, you know, a rocket in the moon, a climb. Let's go ahead and get this right here. $1,000, right? Divided by $1.27. Check that out. All right. $1.27 equals 787 shares. Multiply that by current market rate of Tesla being that 428. $337,000 in 10 years. There's some people that have been alive for 20, 30 years and they don't even have that much to their name. What? Not because they haven't made $1,000, but because they never learned how to invest it. They never learned how to grow it. So you have to, while you're young, bro, see things for what they are and adapt to them. Take advantage of them, because time is of the essence. It's a interesting paradigm to adapt to, living day to day, being, so short-term minded with life. Oftentimes when we're young, we think, man, we're just gonna die anyways, who cares? That's some of the paradigms, I think. Or, hey, I'm gonna put in my 401k, or, money's meant to spend. Like, some of these irresponsible thoughts are actually someone's reality. It's someone's kind of subconscious mind when it comes to money. But as you mature, as you realize what it takes to start acquiring your first home, acquiring, maybe building that first business, acquiring maybe, that financial freedom for not just yourself but your family, acquiring that ability to help your parents. Hey, we need to start being a little bit more mature about money, and I highly recommend you think about acquiring assets, whether it be real estate, whether it be cryptocurrency, whether it be gold, whether it be stocks, whether it be, just buying shares in oil. So many assets out there across the board that can make you a very good return. And I highly recommend, don't waste time while you're young. Take advantage of it, because it's the only thing on your side. It's not about you having the hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands. Nope. I showed you what $1,000 could have turned into just 10 years ago. It's time which you want to take advantage of. Forget about the money. But I hope I leave this message here to help, the younger me, the individual out there just getting started, and just let them know, man, that it's very possible, and that it's a difficult journey to mature and realize all these things on your own, but you're not alone. And I made this channel to be able to connect with you guys and help you guys as much as possible. So despite, investing not being the highest capital returning in the short term, understand it's the easiest way and the most kind of safest way to introduce yourself to the market without losing too much capital, and higher chances of success if you're buying the right assets. But do your own research. Make sure that you get involved with the company in itself, its financial reports, its news headlines, what are its kind of forward guidance for the future. Pay attention to all of those components of a company before investing in them, and monitor them. Don't just let everything go to zero. Learn how to incorporate stop losses, how to purchase at the right times, investing at certain times periodically when there's short-term sell-offs, huge times to buy the dip. Learning these strategies will help you. And man, if you have no one to teach you, I highly recommend you surround yourself with the people that are willing to help you learn. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and it's just a kind of quick video to kind of set a reminder out there that, hey, for the younger guys out there, bro, get on investing, build those assets, and the dollars will come. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Jerry Trades and SoCal Trading Group, over and out.